Be sure to check the timestamps in the description to easily navigate the video. And welcome back to Lycan Studios. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day. I do want to apologize if you guys do hear the fan in the background. Our AC unit actually went out, so we have to wait until Monday in order for someone to come out and look. It's currently like 82 degrees in my house, so as soon as I'm done making this video, I'm going over to my mom's. It is hot. But anyways, today we are going to be talking about my top 10 most shocking moments in Game of Thrones so far. Definitely be sure to let me know what you guys think about these and tell me some of your top shocking moments. Also, be sure to let me know if you want me to continue doing those plot leak episodes. A lot of people that requested it don't seem to be commenting on it or anything, so I just wanted to make sure you guys still want to see it, because if not, I won't worry about it. We'll move on to cooler things. But anyways, of course, before we get into the video, I just want to give the channel shout out. So we're actually going to start all over, and I'm going to keep a list of people because I can't remember if I've actually shouted them out or not. And plus, I kind of shouted out a bunch of people in the first video that really deserve individual shout outs just because they watch the videos all the time. So today's shout out has to go to Amelia C. She's always the first person to watch my videos. Like, as soon as I upload it, she's already clicking on it, leaving a comment. So I just wanted to say I really appreciate it. Also, be sure to smash the thumbs up button if you do enjoy these videos. We are going to be shooting for 150, so let's see what you guys can do. It really helps out a ton. So we're actually going to go ahead and start off with some honorable mentions. So for the two honorable mentions, I have the death of Jon Snow, even though he gets resurrected, and the death of Littlefinger. These two deaths were pretty crazy. I was kind of expecting Littlefinger to die, but I wasn't really expecting Jon to die. Everyone did kind of know that he was going to be resurrected after that, so that's why that's not going to be included in this video. All right, number 10, we have Bran being pushed out of the window by Jaime Lannister. Now, I know we've seen a lot of stuff since then, so this probably isn't as shocking to a lot of you guys, but I just feel like this was the first moment where I was like, okay, Game of Thrones is pretty hardcore. I hadn't read the books or anything like that. My friends didn't really tell me anything about it. They just told me to try it out. It's a really good show. And I just remember I seen that and it just blew my mind. I was instantly in love with the show just because I kind of could tell the lengths that they were going to go to and what George R.R. Martin was all about. It blew my mind. And plus now you can throw in what kind of chain of events that caused. It's crazy. So for the number 9 spot, we have the Hardhome Massacre. I felt like I had to include this just because this is where we truly see the power of the Night King. I mean, Jon had just fought probably the hardest he had to up to that point in the show, just to see the Night King raise his arms and multiply his army of the dead by like 5,000, 6,000 men. When the camera is panning across the island, you see everybody standing up and stuff and just the rowboat slowly rowing away. It's so crazy. We also got to talk about the look on Jon Snow's face. He knows they're screwed. So coming in at number 8, we have Shireens Death. Now this was kind of foreshadowed, and I think we kind of knew it was going to happen before it actually did, so it kind of took a little bit of the shock factor off, but I didn't know if they were actually going to go through with it or not, which they did. I think for me, this is one of the saddest moments in Game of Thrones just because I have a daughter, and of course, as a father, it kind of just triggered those thoughts like, what if something happened to my kid? And it's crazy. It's really going to be interesting to see what happens to Melisandre, since she was pretty much the one behind all of this. Is Davos going to get his revenge? Is Melisandre just going to die trying to protect a bunch of people and fighting the Night King? What's going to happen? It's pretty crazy when you have a show that literally burns a child at the stake and it doesn't even make the top 5 in my list for most shocking moments. That's nuts. So at number 7, we have Theon's mutilation. Do we really even need to talk about this? I think instead I'm just going to play you guys this hilarious clip.
Good to see you, man.
You too. Love your shirt, mate. Love your shirt.
You look great.
I'm sure most of you guys have seen it, but I will link that in the description below in case you want to watch it. Just in case, for some reason, if you guys do not know what I was talking about with Theon's mutilation, I'm talking about when Ramsay pretty much emasculated him. But let's move on. So for number 6, we have the Mountain versus the Viper. So of course everybody knew that this fight was going to happen, but we had no idea it was going to go down the way it did. Tyrion of course demanded trial by combat, and the Viper volunteered to fight the Mountain to avenge his sister. So this one had me really confused. It was like Tyrion was supposed to live, so we kind of figured that the Viper would win, but at the same time, the Mountain is obviously the Mountain. So I'm sitting there watching the fight. The Viper is just going off. He's making it look good. Like, he's not even just trying to kill the Mountain and be done with it. He's literally just trying to beat him down and get full revenge for the death of his sister. Of course, he thinks he has it, and he doesn't. The Mountain ends up just like grabbing him, punching him in the face, knocking out all of his teeth, and then crushing his skull in. That was shocking. Imagine how different the show would have went down if the Viper would have just finished him off. Tyrion would have been fine, and the whole storyline with Dorne could have been different, even though I guess it kind of sucked in the show. That actually just gave me a really good idea for a series that I think I'm going to start. I'm going to call it the What If series. We're going to talk about the world of Game of Thrones and how it would be if certain things happen. Like, what if Oberyn actually won? What if Ned did not go south? What do you guys think about that? It may be a little bit too difficult, but I think I can make it work. So for number 5, we have Jaime losing his hand. So I was actually talking about it in, I think, the last video, where basically Jaime not being able to fight a lot was kind of a letdown for me in the show. I'm definitely going to do a top 10 letdown video, but this was just another shocking moment when he literally had his arm chopped off. I didn't see it coming, and that basically meant that Jaime's whole life would change. He was known for being a top-notch fighter. His whole life revolved around what he could do with a sword, and all of a sudden it was taken away, and we had no idea. It honestly just kind of came out of nowhere and was truly a top shocking moment. So at number 4, we have the death and resurrection of Viserion the Dragon. Now, I think a lot of people's top 4 are pretty much the same, just in different orders, so hopefully this doesn't bore you guys too bad. So I'm pretty sure everybody kind of knew that a dragon would die eventually, but did we really think it was going to be the Ice King throwing a ice javelin or spear or whatever it was at him? I don't think so. So the dragons are just melting through the army of the dead. Dany just came and rescued everybody, and then all of a sudden, the guy hands the Night King a ice javelin. He just walks up, throws it like a badass, and down goes Viserion. He sinks away into the icy water. As shocking as that was, it was even more shocking when all of a sudden they are resurrecting him. I honestly had no idea that was going to happen, and that was right around when all the leaks were coming out for season 7, so as soon as I seen that, I think I actually watched it a couple days before it was supposed to come out. It just blew my mind. So for number 3, we have the execution of Ned. With everything going down the way it did, we knew that something was going to be happening to Ned. But I think most of us thought that he would end up at Castle Black, taking the Black and joining the Night's Watch. I even remember thinking, man, it kind of sucks, but at least he'll be with Jon. But then, of course, they're getting ready to sentence him, and Joffrey just declares the death penalty. Shit, even Cersei didn't want to kill him. That was just, it was crazy. That's another what if. So obviously we could say what if he didn't even go south to start with, but what if Joffrey just let him take the Black? It would have been a whole different ballgame. So for number 2, we have...
Hodor.
Even you, sweet giant.
Hodor. 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 Hodor.
Ah, man, this one is sad. I know for me, and probably for a lot of you guys, this is where George R.R. Martin just totally blew my mind. This is like what I reference if I'm trying to tell somebody that they need to watch Game of Thrones. I start talking about how crazy it is that he thought so far ahead. I don't know. It's insane. So many people have talked about how they've just bawled their eyes out at this scene. It was such a sad scene. Hodor was such a beloved character. Just to see him go out that way and how it actually played out with Bran being kind of the cause of it, but kind of not. I don't know. It was absolutely crazy. Poor Willis, man, just because he had to hold the door. And for the number 1 spot, we have the Red Wedding. I'm sure most of you guys knew that was coming. I've said it so many times in my videos that I remember just being half asleep watching this episode, thinking to myself, maybe I'll just go to sleep and not watch the season finale and I'll save it for the next day. As soon as people started dying, everything went down. I don't even think I went to sleep that night. I stayed up watching the rest of the 3rd season and I think most of the 4th season. So obviously Robb found another woman, betrayed Frey, and paid the price for it. They're at the wedding. Everybody seems to be doing pretty good. Walder Frey is acting like there's not a problem in the world. The Boltons are there. And then all of a sudden the music starts playing and Robb's woman is stabbed in the belly repeatedly. And then it kind of gives a little bit of a brief pause where you think, okay, maybe this is really all that's going to happen. And then Catelyn starts it up again and ends up getting her throat slit. Robb's dead. The direwolf dies. Arya doesn't get to meet up with him. It was just, it blew my mind. That was definitely the most shocking moment in Game of Thrones for me. And of course, it adds another what if moment. Only if Robb would have just did what he said he was going to do. They would have won that war. So many what ifs. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Definitely let me know what you guys think about these shocking moments and definitely share your favorite ones. Also, be sure to let me know what you guys think are some crazy letdowns for Game of Thrones. I'll definitely be doing a video on that very soon. But like always, smash that thumbs up button if you did enjoy the video. This has been Lycan Studios. We'll see you in that next one. Peace.